we're gonna constantly search for ways that good will come out of this, and that's my commitment to River's legacy.
Granger Smith and his wife just posted this video yesterday, a few weeks after the tragic drowning death of their 3-year-old son. They say fans have raised more than $100,000 for a children's hospital through a t-shirt the family designed to honor their son. Smith actually canceled his show in Kansas City earlier this month after news of his son's death. Drowning is the leading cause of unintentional death for kids ages 1 to 4. Right here you see this is the son of Bodie Miller. The Olympic skier lost another child to drowning as well. This child had been born since he lost that child. We talked to a doctor about how to keep kids safe. So we're talking to Dr. Hilary Nash here. We're in the pediatric emergency room at the Overland Park Regional Medical Center. How do we stop this? What do we do at home? What strategies we can have to keep our kids safe?
I think one thing that we need to understand is that this can happen so quickly. In just a matter of seconds, our children can be in life-altering situations with water. Our kids are naturally curious, and so they will gravitate towards water situations, and we have to create safe environments that see ahead and prevent those things.
What's a safe environment? If you have a pool in the backyard, what do you need to do?
Right. So things to keep in mind: if you have a pool in the backyard, you need to have a 4-sided fence, at least 4 feet tall. You need to have situations where you have self-locking gates, that the gates are locked if the pool's not in use. Also to remember that, as you mentioned, those young children, infants to 4 years old, oftentimes we don't think about them being at risk for drowning.
Right, and talking about swim lessons, we were talking about this earlier. When do you start those?
The earlier the better. I think that the sooner that we can let kids know about water safety, then the better it is. So even around age 1, sometimes we even start them as early as 6 months to a year old. Check with your pediatrician, make sure that they're developmentally ready. But these parent-taught swim type lessons, I think, are a good way to start introducing our kids to safe water skills.
And we're talking about sometimes before these kids can walk. Bodie Miller posted a video of his, I think, an 8-month-old learning how to turn themselves over. I've thought about that for my baby. You say, why not?
Yeah, I think that the sooner the better, and I think that as they kind of progress developmentally, we talk about more important things like why we're safe around the water and why it's not okay to be there when mom and dad aren't there or a caregiver isn't there. I think the other thing to keep in mind is it's so important to stay alert. We live in a distracted world. Even a few seconds on our phones or our earbuds in, not listening, can be a moment where our kids are in danger in the pool.
Oh my goodness. And just looking at some of these, pool toys that we have out here, talk to me about these.
It is so important if your kid is going to be swimming or if they are going to be around water that they are using some type of Coast Guard approved life jacket. So these are the type of devices that are going to really keep your kids safe. Oftentimes there's so many things out there as we look at the store that look like that they might be safe, and they can give us a false sense of security and our kids a false sense of security. So we need to make sure that we stay away from things like this pool noodle, which my kids love these pool noodles, but they are not safety flotation devices that are going to keep them up out of the water for a extended period of time. Inner tubes, another thing. The water wings is another thing that oftentimes we think are going to keep our kids safe, and so that we don't have to be vigilant on watching them.
Right.
My advice is, if you have a small child that isn't an independent swimmer, to just get rid of these types of things.
Really?
They are just a temptation and can lead to just tragic situations.
And we've heard even with these good devices too, that maybe the kids get so comfortable when they are wearing these. What's the danger when they're not?
Yes, I have a perfect example of that actually in my son. When he was just 3 years old, they were at the pool, he had his flotation device on, they were getting ready to leave. My husband had unlatched him, turned around to go ahead and put their stuff in the bag to leave, and my son, thinking he still had his flotation devices on, jumped right into the deep end. Luckily, my brother-in-law was there and saw the whole thing happen, but he was down at the bottom of the pool before my husband even turned around and realized it.
Oh my goodness.
So they were able to pull him out, but we're both healthcare providers and that happened. So we have to stay alert, we have to stay vigilant, and you have to look ahead to see what could happen so that you can do good preventative measures.
Man, it's scary, but we can stay vigilant and prevent tragedy from happening.
Yes.
Dr. Nash, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.